Hey everybody, it's Matty here with Altcoin Buzz with you on this Monday. Happy Monday and happy start to your week. Today we're discussing all things China. As many analysts have concluded, the sentiments that we're seeing out of China, as well as a lot of the green lights that they're signaling for blockchain, that's at least one big reason why we've seen the price of Bitcoin spike recently. So here we're talking about that on TechCrunch.com, on news.yahoo.com. We're talking about the new Chinese cryptography law. That's something you may have heard about on ambcrypto.com, also discussing the historic passage of that cryptography law. And then on CoinDesk.com, from banking giants to tech darlings, China reveals, get this, over 500 enterprise blockchain projects. Yes, they are taking this space seriously. But before all that, let's begin with a snapshot of the market. We are on CoinMarketCap.com. Prices continue to reflect favorable numbers here. Total market cap over 250 billion, 251.3 to be exact, with the price of Bitcoin up 1.1% over the last day. Profits now spilling over seemingly into the altcoins here. As you see, we have Ethereum up a couple percentage points, Bitcoin Cash up over 7%, Litecoin up just about 5%, EOS 8%, Binance Coin 5.8%. Nonetheless, the price of Bitcoin now sits at $9,448 with a 67.7% dominance figure. And here on TechCrunch, they're giving us the China Roundup, examining President Xi Jinping's power on Bitcoin, as well as Alibaba's new rival. Have you heard about the 4-year-old e-commerce upstart and giant Pinduoduo, which recently displaced JD.com to be the 4th most valuable internet company in China? Its market cap is at 47.6 billion as of Friday, which puts it just behind e-commerce leader Alibaba. The story of Pinduoduo comes down to growing internet penetration and the rise of social commerce. Pinduoduo, which is known for selling ultra-cheap products, is particularly popular with price-sensitive residents in small towns and rural regions, a market relatively underserved by online retail pioneers Alibaba and JD.com. However, Pinduoduo has set about targeting more urban consumers by heavily subsidizing big-ticket items such as iPhones. So keep an eye on that company. They're certainly worth paying attention to, but here's what we're really interested in. 82% of Chinese adults used digital payments in 2018. That's not to say it was necessarily cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, but 82% of adults used digital payments. That is an astronomical number, and it's up about 5%. Among those living in rural China, 72% made transactions via online banking, telephone banking, the point of sale system, ATM, or other digital channels, according to a new report, and that's been released by the People's Bank of China. Beijing's push for rural areas to go cash-free is part of what gives rise to such flourishing e-commerce businesses as Pinduoduo. And in related news, of course, few things have had an impact on the Bitcoin market like President Xi Jinping's endorsement of blockchain. Speaking at a Politburo meeting on Thursday, Xi called for China to, quote, take blockchain as an important breakthrough to achieve independence of core technologies. Of course, he issued that in Mandarin. Bitcoin price soared more than 10% in response, but as industry experts cautioned, when China, where crypto exchanges are banned, speaks of blockchain, it usually means the encrypted technology that not only undergirds cryptocurrencies, but can revolutionize a whole range of sectors like finance, manufacturing, and agriculture. And here's also a very important development out of China. You may or may not have heard about this, but the country hopes cryptography law will provide security and profitability. So China's legislature passed a cryptocurrency law just a couple days ago on Saturday, which aims at safeguarding national security while continuing to promote a rapidly growing encryption industry. The cryptography law was endorsed by the Standing Committee on the 13th National People's Congress and will take effect on the 1st of January 2020 after years of lobbying and public debate. And here's a quote from an official at the State Cryptography Administration. Cryptography is an important strategic resource for a country. It's directly related to the country's political security, economic security, national defense security, and information security. Absolutely. Now, all of this falls into the discussion that we've been having these last few days contextually about Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and Libra, of course, and the congressional testimonies that happened in Washington. And you can see here really firsthand, these are the first steps toward really a national push for blockchain in China. And although I'm not a big fan of Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook, at least their actions per se, I can get behind that argument that he was issuing when he said, look, if you guys don't support the initiative here with Libra, that's fine, but we better have some very good reasons as to why we don't want to move ahead with it, because absolutely guaranteed is the fact that Beijing and China on the whole, they're going to move forward with an equivalent competitor to Libra at a national level. And you can see how the wheels are in motion toward something to that effect. On ambcrypto.com, we're also discussing China Merchant Bank, which has invested in Bitcoin wallet after passage of cryptographic law. So a very coincidental decision that they've made there, because China had prohibited financial firms from holding or trading in Bitcoin back in December 2013, going on to later ban any foreign crypto exchange that offered such services. However, the latest announcement by Chinese President Xi Jinping on blockchain technology followed the passage of the cryptographic law has made everyone optimistic that maybe China would allow for other mainstream cryptocurrencies to flourish. That might just be the case, as according to reports, China Merchant Bank has invested in BitPi, a non-custodial Bitcoin wallet. And as I was saying just a moment ago, while recent developments do not imply that China would legalize the use of Bitcoin anytime soon, it might be looking forward to nationalizing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency infrastructure like Bitcoin mining in the mainland. The country is known as the mining hub of the world, as more than 60% of the world's mining activities are concentrated in the country, mainly because of the abundance of cheap, clean energy. And here's the important point. Real widespread adoption of Bitcoin could give China an unprecedented lead in world domination. And I know that sounds like a dramatic headline, but it's true. It's summed up here in the last paragraph. With world power shifting from west to east, especially Southeast Asia, along with the ongoing trade war and the diminishing value of the US dollar in the world market, Bitcoin and blockchain are definitely going to be the kingmakers. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be Bitcoin, but blockchain, I certainly agree, is going to make a big difference. And whether it manifests itself in the form of Bitcoin as the leader, whether it's a Libra or a Libra type equivalent, who knows? But I think this, as I mentioned the other day, this is an arms race that countries have to pay attention to. They have no other choice. And finally today on Coindesk.com, from banking giants to tech darlings, China reveals over 500 enterprise blockchain projects. More than 500 blockchain projects have been registered with the Chinese government since March alone, and the filings reveal some of the largest Chinese banks and tech companies working with the technology. Several government offices, including courts and tax bureaus, are testing blockchain platforms to execute admin tasks, the filings show. And Chinese President, of course, Xi Jinping, announced his support for blockchain tech, while Congress passed a cryptography law one day after Xi's comment. Clearly, they were in sync when it came to their comments and their intentions. In total, the identities of 506 such projects have been published by the Cyberspace Administration of China, which since January has required every entity developing blockchain technologies to register their projects for further supervision. And you can see there are all kinds of developments as outlined by the article here in the financial sector. It affects the big players that we mentioned earlier in this video report, including Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent, possibly now Pinduoduo as well. Government-led projects, I think, are especially getting a lot of focus and a lot of attention now that, again, the president of China, Xi Jinping, has issued, in effect, his endorsement for the sector, for the technology. The implications are very significant. So make of that what you will. We're not sure what's going to happen just yet, but I have the firm impression that we're really just at the very beginning of this saga. We're on the first few pages, perhaps, of chapter 1, and it's going to be an epic that will be handed down through the ages. It's a little bit daunting to see how seriously China is taking this. On the one hand, it is a little bit almost intimidating, to be honest with you, when you see how gung-ho they are and how coordinated and together they seem to be when it comes to blockchain. And again, we're only just at the very outset. So on the one hand, that's a little bit scary, but on the other, I suppose on the whole, it's good for the space. I'm kind of torn between those two opinions right now. Those are my two reactions to all of these developments that we're reading about today. If you are a Chinese member of the Altcoin Buzz Army especially, let us know your input. Maybe you have a different perspective from what I've covered today, but certainly they are taking these things seriously, and I think it's going to be a soft arms race for years and potentially decades to come. So let us know your thoughts about this very, very, very interesting developments as we begin the week. And that about rounds it out for today, everybody. Do be sure you are following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. You can go ahead, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications if you've enjoyed today's video. Best of luck, of course, if you choose to invest on this Monday, but have a great start to your week once again. And as always, we hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.